We got USC coming off a bye, looking to avenge the beatdown that they received in South Bend from Notre Dame. They travel on the road to take on Nebraska. This is the game that I'm the most excited to watch this weekend. Both USC and Nebraska were viewed as potential sleeper teams in the Big Ten that could get into the college football playoffs. Whoever loses this game, not only are they going to be out of the Big Ten championship picture, but their playoff hopes are probably going to be all but over. USC, shockingly, is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. And I'm just going to say right out the gate, if you're betting on this game and you're betting the point spread, I like Nebraska to cover that plus 6.5. Regardless of who wins this game, it's going to come down to probably a field goal. I don't think there's a lot of separation between these two teams. This is one of those games where they say styles make fights. And you have two teams that have really interesting, contrasting styles. USC, they're very good throwing the football. Jaden Maiava is quietly the best quarterback in college football that nobody seems to talk about. If the NFL draft was to start today, I would take him number 1 overall. When in doubt, you can't go wrong taking a Lincoln Riley quarterback. You also have an incredible group of receivers to throw the football to. Jacoby Lane, Mekhi Lemon, they've been just as good as anybody in terms of wide receiver duos. Nebraska, they're very good running the football. Emmett Johnson is one of the best running backs in the Big Ten. He's averaging nearly 6 yards per carry. And as we saw the last time USC played, they don't have a run defense, and especially when they go on the road, like when they played Illinois a few weeks ago, Illinois had 171 yards on this USC defense. Against Notre Dame, they gave up 308 rushing yards. So this is a game that Emmett Johnson should go off. He should have over 100. And he's going to be a big problem for USC. If USC isn't able to stop Emmett Johnson, it's going to be a very long afternoon for the Trojans. The good thing is, if USC is able to bottle up this Nebraska run game, then they more than likely win this game. And the only way USC can really stop the run is just by outscoring you. If USC gets out to a fast start and you force Nebraska to play from behind, then you have this team right where you want them. When USC is able to start out fast like how they did against Michigan, then that's an easy way to force that team to abandon the run. Because if you get down early and you're down 10, you're down 14, then you're going to put a little bit more emphasis on throwing the football to get back into it. But the thing with USC that concerns me is, what team are we going to get in the fourth quarter? You see, USC can hang around with any team. The problem is they don't know how to finish games. Once they get into the fourth quarter in the final 15 minutes, that's when teams start to deliver those body blows. They start to deliver those haymakers. USC, they still don't really have the depth needed to go the distance against some of the more physical teams in the Big Ten. That's what we saw against Notre Dame and what we saw against Illinois. So USC is going to need Jaden Maiava to play a clean football game. And when Jaden Maiava doesn't have any turnovers, I'll take USC to win 10 times out of 10. The issue is Nebraska defensively, they do a pretty good job of limiting big passing plays, and they can force takeaways as well. Their pass rush isn't as good as what it was last year, which definitely is going to be a major hurdle that they're going to have to overcome, because if you can't get pressure on Jaden Maiava and you allow him to get all day to sit behind that offensive line and just dissect you from within, he's going to crush you. And he also can make things happen outside the pocket as well. But Dylan Raiola is really good also. Now, his play has kind of fell off over the past month. He has 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I don't really put the 5 interceptions mainly on him. The offensive line hasn't really done him no favors, so sometimes he has to rush throws when receivers aren't ready. You end up getting a few tip passes that end up being intercepted. You need this Nebraska offensive line to really show out in this game. This offensive line has been the Achilles heel of this offense over the past month. They're good when it comes to run blocking. The pass protection, on the other hand, is a completely different story. And it's strange because one of Dylan Raiola's family members happens to be the offensive line coach. It was a major reason why they were able to flip him from Georgia to Lincoln. But unfortunately, the offensive line hasn't really done him any justice this year. Now, Dylan Raiola, one thing I will say, yes, he is a Patrick Mahomes replica. He does model his game a lot after Mahomes, and it's really easy to see if you just watch like 5-6 passes of him. You see the Patrick Mahomes similarities, his ability to throw off platform, the ability to throw from different arm angles, the ability to make impossible passes look routine. Dylan Raiola is going to make some big plays in this game that's going to keep Nebraska in it, especially on third down. But like USC, if this ends up being a close game in the fourth quarter, the same concerns that you have about USC being able to finish, you can have those similar concerns for Nebraska, because Dylan Raiola, as talented as what he is, he can do a lot of the Mahomes stuff, but he does it a lot recklessly than what Mahomes does. Like last week against Northwestern, there was a play when it was 4th and 1. They call a rollout. Nobody's open, so he's running around trying to make something happen. And unfortunately, the ball ends up getting punched out because he's not emphasizing taking care of it. And that's really what the difference in this game is ultimately going to come down to. Who in the fourth quarter is going to be better at maintaining possession of football? Who's going to be able to take care of this pigskin once we get into the final 5-6 minutes of this game? Because I have concerns about both of these teams' ability to close out these games. And when you have a team in USC that is more so predicated on throwing the football, and Nebraska, who more so is run-oriented, that's really when you're going to see the styles of play for these different teams start to play a factor in who wins this game. Because if USC is up, then Nebraska probably has a good chance to get back into it in the fourth quarter, because USC isn't really that good running the football. Nebraska, with their ability to run the football, if they get up in the fourth quarter at any point, then they can win the TOP battle. They can keep USC's offense off the field and put a little bit more stress on Deanna and that defense have to get off the field and crucial downs. So I'm going to take Nebraska to win this game, which is a little bit shocking to me, because when I was coming into this episode, I was expecting to take USC. But the more I talk about this matchup and the more you look at it, I really don't trust USC's ability to win on the road this year. The last 2 times they've gone on the road against teams that are able to run the football and are very physical, they've lost them. They lost by 2 to Illinois on the road. They got beat down by Notre Dame on the road. And Jeremiah Love had over 200 yards on the ground. And if Jeremiah Love had a good game against this USC defense, then Emmett Johnson will be able to do the same thing. Now, Emmett Johnson isn't anything close to Jeremiah Love, but he has very good vision, very good acceleration. When he gets the ball, he's north and south. He has very good patience as well. I expect him to have a really big day for Nebraska, and I think that he ultimately is going to be the reason why Nebraska wins this game. My score prediction, I'll take Nebraska. 24-17 will be my final score prediction for this game. I just think that this just is a bad matchup for USC stylistically. I really don't trust their ability to stop the run, and they don't really play that well on the road either.